part of a federal investigation and evaluation of the San Francisco Police Department by the Department of Justice, Office of Community Services. It should be included in their evaluation to determine whether or not this matter represents a continuation of a pattern and practice of using deadly force against minorities in their city. Clearly be part of that. That's number one. Number two, to look at the evidence that we have here, this is another case where criminal prosecution should be made. The district attorney should file criminal charges against these officers for murder. You can't shoot somebody who's bent down and shoot him in the back of the top of the head and on the sides and say that's justification when you yourself and the lives are not in danger. So that should happen. So both of those should occur, and I think that the mayor himself should also let it be known that this type of killing, this type of assault on the encampment community will not and should not be tolerated, and he should, in fact, take into consideration follow policies and procedures that make it safe for a person like Luis to be in the encampment and not have his very move, which is part of his lifestyle, possession of a knife, be interpreted as a criminal act. And so there's things for the city to do, and the mayor's in a position to do it. He should not in any way turn a blind eye to this case, this matter, because of where Luis lives. He should not turn a blind eye to the fact that the Justice Department itself has looked at other cases. He should be an advocate for the rights of Luis and others like him, and engage in the federal authorities and even the state. This is a case likewise where I've said it before in other cases where the Attorney General could look at this type of case. Because you can't consistently have police shootings of this nature and nothing is done about it. It is true we can do unlimited business here as civil lawyers, civil rights lawyers. But the real policy changes and the real ability to hold people accountable can come from the political leaders of the town. And they have to care about the individuals who were killed. They have to care about the circumstances in which the shooting took place. They have to care that what is taking place here should not, regardless of the social status and structure of the person. So, from my way of thinking, this case has not received the kind of public attention that it should. The mayor should be involved, the Attorney General should be involved, the Department of Justice should be involved, and above all, the police department with this new chief wants to stand up and say the tactics employed here were wrong, and that those tactics in and of themselves contribute to the use of deadly force. And this is where the training comes in. But it's not just training, it's also attitude. What kind of attitude do you have toward the people in that community? This seems like a disrespectful, non-person type attitude. Because you walk up on a person, you're screaming at him, you don't know whether he understands or not, and within seconds, you employ deadly force along with non-lethal force and shoot the poor man down in the back of his head and the side of his arm as he's trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So there's stuff, there are things that need to be done. This case can in fact be a source for that, like other cases in this city have been as well. All right, thank you. I'm going to allow questions. Any questions? Any one of the lawyers here that you want to direct a question to, you can in the presentation they made. Okay? Now, there is a widespread practice of misconduct. If that doesn't occur, I want this case to fold into the examination and assessment that the Department of Justice and the COP program is doing in connection with the city. Because the use of deadly force, tactics, how do you deal with edge weapons, how do you deal with mentally impaired people, all are part of what we're looking at right now. And we hope that this case is not ignored by the public bodies and the public entity. It becomes part of the work that they're trying to do here. Okay?
Will you review the text messages of these officers to see if they use any homophobic or racial slurs before or after
lawsuit is
policías
filed,
tan
those are the kind of
particulares
things
eran
we can
textos
ask for.
raciales o
Okay.
homofóbicos
But I will tell you, and
de
you
un,
should
de un caso
demand
que
this
hubo,
now,
un escándalo que
that
hubo en
the
los
present,
policías.
an interim police chief
El nuevo
should in fact
jefe de policía interino
engage in a process of looking at every text
debe
message
mirar
that has taken place in the
cada
last
mensaje
5
que los
years.
policías
To
llevan
have
en
a
los últimos
sweep
5 años.
of those text messages to determine whether there are additional racial slurs that are taking place.
Si hay
When I was
más
involved in the
de lo que
Rodney
hasta
King
ahora
case, it was
encontramos.
astounding.
Porque dice que lo que se ha encontrado hasta ahora es
The communication that was taking place by officers on text messages, then it was mobile devices in the car. So I think the present chief has a greater responsibility right now. And I know the Department of Justice under the COPS program is taking a look at it. But we want it identified as best we can.
Nosotros queremos
It's part of our case.
todo lo que tiene que ver
Who
con todos
knows,
los policías.
surely if we find it to be so in our case, we will ask questions about it, then it will become part of our case.
Si encontramos
yes.
algo que será parte del caso.
Most recently, there was on the south of Market, there was another stabbing, which was actually a fatal stabbing, in which
Parece
two
que-
individuals were involved, where two police officers
Parece que un caso de cuchillazos en
came
otro
to
barrio.
the scene,
Los policías
arrested both of the individuals without the use of force.
sin usar
It
fuerza.
can't be done.
Exacto.
But
can't be done.
everybody's saying that it's a training problem. It's not a training problem because it depends on where they're at, if they use their training, rather than do they have the training. And that's, to me, that's kind of,
Just because you have a knife is not a death warrant.
right.
El hecho de que
Knife
alguien
not
tenga
a
un
death
cuchillo no debe
warrant, and
resultar
officers
en la
know it
muerte de
can,
nadie.
in fact, disarm people
Se puede desarmar
without having shooting and
gente
killing them, if they
simplemente
want to.
tirarles.
Yeah, there were two gentlemen with knives,
I
not
understand.
one,
But I'm saying it
and
can't be
neither
done.
one was
It
shot.
can't be done. Next question.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Mr. Gongora? When he came to the city, I saw on his death certificate he worked as a restaurant laborer, but you also
Le
mentioned
pregunta
he
que
worked in
sabe
the
de
fields.
por
Can
él
you just
cuando llegó a
give us a little bit
We'll
more?
let one of the family members answer that
Digo
question.
que
Can
yo
you
tenía
answer the
la
question?
historia de trabajar en los
Contesta la
restaurantes
pregunta de, ¿quieres contestar eso?
para contestarles.
¿O quieres contestar tú?
Say
¿Quién
your-
era,
say your name, please.
quién era José?
Luis, di tu
¿Cómo
nombre.
lo haces, Luis?
Mi nombre es Luis Armando Potpat, soy primo de el difunto. Él llegó alrededor del 2002 y él empezó a trabajar en Mels, en la Misión y la 4. Y él estuvo trabajando de dishwasher como 6, 8 años allí, correlativamente.
Okay. Want to interpret?
My name is Luis Potpat. I'm cousin to Luis Gongora Pat. Luis arrived more or less around 2002, and he held for a long time a job at Mel's Diner at 4th and Mission. He worked there about 6 to 8 years.
Can we do individual interviews instead?
Hello?
My question is, have you been able to locate the witness at the bottom frame of when the police arrive at 19th and Shotwell? There's a person that's seen in the lower frame, yes?
Quieren saber
Okay,
que se
that's all.
identificaron a todos los testigos,
We do know who she is.
Okay.
todos los testigos que vieron en el momento que se dio la muerte. Así que los tienen a todos
Based on some of the
reconocidos.
photos you showed, did you all order your own autopsy separate from
Quieren saber si hubo una autopsia
The
separada.
second autopsy was done.
Segunda autopsia fue hecha.
And then, you know, in the video, we don't see him once he moves out.
Right.
And so I think the argument we're hearing is, you know, he lunged with. and
That's what
we
they
don't-
say.
Right, and yet we don't see him. So I think you're saying is based on the angle of the injuries coming
Well, that's
to
in
him.
part, but there's a lady across
El
the street
análisis
who was looking down.
de cómo lo pueden haber tirado
She
las
says,
balas, quién
and
lo
we
ve
interviewed
desde
her.
arriba, una
She said he did not lunge.
quien lo ve desde una
Did not lunge. He was not being aggressive. She's got a good view. She's above, across the street. No, great view.
pero tiene la vista
What do
clara.
you make of the conflicting witness testimony? Because there are those who say that. So what do you make of that?
Dice que hay una
They didn't
evidencia
have a good
con-
view,
que hay
that it's
evidencia
just a
contradictoria.
knee-jerk reaction.
¿Qué piensas?
Well, there's always going to be conflicting testimony when it's statements.
Siempre va a haber,
The question then becomes, how does the witness statements line up with physical evidence?
siempre va a haber
And so from
testimonios
our point of
encontrados, pero la
view,
evidencia
the
física,
witnesses who
los
report
testimonios
what
expresan
happened from
alguna
our perspective
encuentro.
line up with the physical evidence.
O sea, que lo que
So
dicen
there's always going to be a dispute
corroboran lo
about
que dicen.
people.
La
Individuals see
evidencia
different things
corrobora
at
lo
different
que
times.
dicen
And so when you
ciertamente,
have
lo
that,
que
then you
dicen
got to say, is there physical evidence
la evidencia
that you can
física
use that allows for you
puede
to
permitir
corroborate one way or the other?
que,
So we
que
feel
los
pretty comfortable
testimonios
with it, but it is
corroboren
true that
o,
people
o,
get sick.
o el otro
So
testimonio.
you showed us,
Speak up, speak up.
you showed us that there was a bullet wound to the head and to the right shoulder. Can you tell us where the other bullet wounds were?
Yes, we can.
Que había balas
There
en la
was,
cabeza, otro en
There
el
was a
hombro,
bullet wound to the left shoulder,
Una
to
en-
the
uno en el brazo,
right forearm, and to the right,
brazo
right
derecho,
arm, in addition to
y
a graze wound that went through the abdomen
uno
from the
que
side.
le atravesó la
Okay,
pierna.
and can you just, I'm sorry, can you just repeat what you said about what you learned from the trajectory of the head?
Pueden
the-
repetir
The
los
trajectory
temas
rods more or
de
less
la
speak for
bala,
themselves. They show the direction of the bullet, and the head
cómo entró
bullet
la
going
bala.
down
O
the
sea que
top
es
of
como
his
que
head,
las
out,
balas vienen todas de
out,
arriba hacia
out from the
abajo.
back, showing that obviously the person
O sea que la
was
dirección de las
above
balas
him
muestra en
as-
cómo le
and
tiraron.
shooting down into the top of his head.
Have you determined whether it was Steger or Malone who fired which of the 7 shots?
Quieren saber si son un
No, we have
policía,
not done that. We just know
si los
that.
policías,
Each did
uno
fire.
o los dos tiraron
Yeah,
todos
one
los
officer
tiros,
did.
no lo han determinado todavía.
We have a young man, we're reporting on him. Do you know what the police chief said about the killing?
Quieren saber
What the police
qué es lo
chief
que
said
dijo
about
el
it?
jefe de policía
Don't
sobre
recall
este
what the
caso.
police chief said. Don't.
No much.
Given what happened to him,
No
Mario,
no
you probably
recuerdo
didn't
la
say
verdad
anything
bien
other
lo que
than the fact
dijo.
it's under investigation.
Or the mayor, have there been a
The
statement?
mayor has not, I've not heard any statements. This is what the concern about this case is it just went under the radar, okay? I mean, we spent a lot of time
Dicen que
locally,
este
even
caso
nationally, talking about Mario
se
Woods.
habló mucho de Mario
This
Woods.
case happened,
Este
which is
caso
pretty
pasó muy
egregious,
seguido,
but
muy
it
severo,
was almost
pero
like
lo cubrieron.
everyone was tired.
Todo el mundo estaba cansado
And no one wanted to talk about it and analyze it. Now, to our,
analizamos.
we got
Nosotros
involved as quickly as we could,
metimos
interviewing witnesses, going to the scene. So,
testimonio.
but it wasn't public discussion about it. And to some extent, that might be social, maybe social status thing.
The Frisco 5 was happening at the same time.
I mean,
The Frisco 5 was
También pasa
happening
que
at the
este
same
mes
time.
pasó que estuvo la huelga de hambre contra el jefe de policía, por eso dicen que de alguna manera fue como cubierto, no fue muy...
yes, the Spanish, if you want, you can interview the Spanish TV people now if you want. You don't have to, but you can. Okay, any other questions? I'm going to be leaving here. Yeah, we can.
You know, I'm a member of the shelter on 165 on Gongora. Used to be a member.
You're right. I want to give a shout out to Bob here. Thank you for making it available to us. More importantly, understanding the issues that we're dealing with, not only here, but around the area. It's important for people of your stature to understand and communicate to your parishioners and anybody in the community the nature of these issues. Thank you. What's your name?
¿Cómo quiere que la gente recuerde a su hermano?
Con honor.
Lo recuerdo como un ser humano, lindo, hermoso, como un ser humano.
Ok. Ahora, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Now, keep your time.